All right, well, thank you, contestants, Drew and Will. We always strive for 3 setters, and obviously, when we have time, have you guys play it out instead of a 10-pointer. So, success overall as a production team. First of all, just like with any new contestant, not commentator, as a new contestant, Drew, you've obviously played where dozens, if not hundreds of people are watching you, right? In college and in high school. I'm just curious to your thoughts about, a somewhat familiar club. You've been here several times before in recent memory. But having 3, maybe even 4 cameras sometimes on you, is it a different type of pressure?
So, funny enough, I thought I was going to be worried about it, but I wasn't.
Okay, good.
I settled in pretty quickly, I think, with the warm-up and everything, and just the familiarity of all you guys, was helpful. So, but, if I was in a random spot with random people I didn't know and playing against somebody I didn't know, I'm sure I would have felt the pressure a lot more.
Okay, so you adjusted pretty quickly, relatively speaking, compared to other people.
Sure.
Now, I just want to say that this is, on paper, significantly the highest rated singles match we've had on Real Tennis or Essential Tennis.
Sweet. Cool.
How do you guys think you guys played overall in terms of your level?
Great. I don't think it was bad. I think it was just a couple of decisions in a couple of key games. That was pretty much it in both sets, all 3 sets.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And we were in both each other's service games. We were serving both cannons and consistently serving cannons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were right there. Great.
Yeah. But you were also returning, those serves back.
You guys got a racket on it.
There were some really good returns.
Yeah.
I did one where I was almost like MJing. I was like going back home.
And you watched it and then hit it long after that. I remember that.
Yeah. Never underestimate a ball on the court. So I murmured that a few times. But no, I thought I played great. Like, all honesty, I thought I've been playing awesome tennis the last few times I've been playing, so it was awesome. Yeah, I love that new Nalbandian stick I got on eBay for $50.
Beautiful.
It's got a little bit bigger grip. It's normally I play with a quarter, and that's a half, and I feel like it's just feels perfect right now. So, yeah, it was awesome.
You must have had a good stringer too, huh?
Excellent stringer, Milwaukee's finest.
I mean, Scott, overall, what were your expectations for this match? Because I don't think you've seen Drew hit, have you?
I mean, not since you were a junior, since we were hitting over at Paley, well, I saw your video of when you played Mark, but it seemed like you were controlling things pretty well. I mean, and that style-wise, you guys are nothing alike. You're very offensive, I mean, and you're offensive in your own way, but not
offensive.
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 But I expected to be kind of like big shots, and wasn't disappointed. That I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what how much tennis you've been playing, and I know what you can do. I've seen you hit some big shots. I go back to when you played Trice, and I thought you hit a lot of big shots, but you weren't anywhere near as consistent then as you were today. Like you were so dialed in on your ground. It's like even the mishits and the errors were not like sailing along. And both of you were the same. And you made the normal amount of errors, but just like the shot selection and the execution, like from defense to neutralize. But both of us were just like, what do you do? That's just too good. How do you find a hole, to get past somebody? And because it was always this wide. Every shot you needed to hit had to be in this area. And in terms of my expectations, they were exceeded. I thought the tennis was going to be good, but I didn't think I was going to be like, have the hair on my arm stand up. It was that good.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that there were some highlight, not just shots, but also points from both of you guys' tennis rackets. But in terms of overall weapons and tactics, what were you guys trying to do to each other once you guys saw each other's, ground strokes, techniques, or like patterns of play?
Mine was to get above your shoulder on your forehand, get it high.
Smart.
Try and get it away from your strike zone, because you like it with that 90 square inch Nalbandian racket, which is wild. Anything here was just butter, but anything up there it was trouble, and I could get a shorter ball and start to get my game involved. So I was working. At first set, did that. Second set, I struggled because you were bombing balls. I just couldn't get on you. And then third set, I was coming back towards the end, but we did really well to keep that pressure on.
Yeah.
Were there like stroke-to-stroke matchups that you wanted to exploit?
Forehand to forehand.
Forehand.
I want to go because I want to keep away from his backhand because it was low and flat.
Which is the same thing. I wanted forehand. So
that's what I thought. I thought like the backhands seemed to be, you know, where you were kind of establishing dominance in the points.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, his backhand down the line is lethal. You know, so I mean, there's plenty of examples to show that, but like. Yeah, and I got a little insider information from somebody, you know, around here about his backhand being pretty good. So, you know, I was trying to find his forehand, and I think that's the, you know, the thing, right? Like backhands are usually more solid in general, and forehands are a little bit more lively and can win you more points. But
shield versus sword.
Yeah,
right.
That's very true. But yeah, so I mean, I was just looking for my forehand, and yeah, I mean, I think we both have a little bit of insight on each other for the next time we play. But yeah, that was a blast. I mean. I think it was great tennis.
We talked about serving just a little bit, but serving-wise, did you like kind of glom on the other's, you know, favored side of returning? I mean, I felt like when I was calling where you guys were going to serve, I was pretty spot on. I didn't make too many bad calls as to where you were going. Were you like kind of thinking through those like a pitcher?
I was guessing every serve. So I always talk under my breath on the
as a return.
Yeah, return. Because it's the only way that with that much pace, I'm going to start to see small, intricate movements that, if they repeat, they become a tell in a way. So that's what I was always looking for, and I think I did pretty well to get most of these big balls back. But just second and third set, you made some great serves. I just couldn't quite get in the game.
Sure.
Well, that's what Mark was saying, is that your serve is just incredibly hard to read. You know, having played you, he said that he couldn't really, you know, get a good sense of where you were going. You weren't showing anything.
So I feel like I'm serving the best I ever have in my life.
That's crazy.
Like, you know, it's just weird. But for whatever reason, I feel like that's been the case. Even when I played Drew Van Fossen like 2 months ago, I think I hit like 20 aces in 2 sets. And
he told me the same thing.
Yeah, it was like, it was just ridiculous. I don't know what's going on, why I'm hitting them so well. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, it's tough to get it. I'm struggling like with my feel to see the return. So like, I feel like when I was playing more, I was a little bit more observant of like little tells where I'm not like picking up on those right now, returning, so it was difficult. But your second serve, tons of spin, tons of slicing movement, which like didn't sit for me. So I'm used to it sitting and, you know, just start the point and grip and rip, but it was kind of coming at me more, so that was tough, you know. But question for you, Scott, is what do you think my favorite serves are?
Well, I mean, I don't know. that your tee serve was really working well as far as aces go, but I think you like the wide one. I mean, the shot that I was like so happy that you'd hit was the corner serve on the ad side, just going corner over and over again.
Poor James was getting ripped.
Like you hit big ones, you hit spinning ones, and I thought that you did a great job to get some of those back, but I thought that you found the corners so well.
Sure. Yeah. So you're saying on the deuce I like wide, or on the ad?
Well, on the ad you like wide. Okay. On the ad you like wide, because, you know, and which is interesting because you're not, you know, 6'5" and you don't have that angle, but you hit that serve so freaking well. You know.
Bit of heat in you, mate. Seriously.
So it's been working for me well, like with that low toss and everything, and gripping and, you know, just sliding into it, hitting it flat. But my actual true go-to is slices. So T on the ad, T wide. Those are like, if I'm in my best versus your best, you know, like, that's what I would do. Like if it was a no ad point. You know?
But the wide serves, you were, now you think of it, about it, you were going wide a lot on the deuce side, and, you know, like wide and short.
Because it's that little extra bit of margin, right? Like you coming up on a slice a little bit, and I'm 5'8", so, you know, like where it's just a little bit thinner of a margin T, you know, so. But
I'm surprised that you guys didn't go body more at each other.
I went body once by mistake.
By mistake, but
me too.
But you both were getting such good heat that it made sense to do that, and then maybe exploit it. Because like when he went at you and you did that thing, it was like, do that all day, go body all day, get that weak return, and then pump it.
It was funny because it got to a point where we began to move. We were playing a bit of cat and mouse, where I'd stand wider, Drew was standing narrower, and we were trying to predict where each other was going from our positioning on the court. It was kind of funny because it was like, at some points it works, but it doesn't work. But how you get returns is kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get a little creative when somebody's returning well. So it's like, I mean, I tried to mix up my tosses a little bit in case you weren't like, in case you were locked in on that. I was trying to throw a little bit to my right and then go on the deuce and then go tee. So, you know, you weren't fully aware, but, you know, I don't think it worked out as much as I thought it did, but, you know.
How much did the desire to come to the net come into play? Because it seemed like you both had a lot of respect for the groundies, and there wasn't as much net play.
I think I came forward the most.
Yeah,
I think I probably came forward like 3 or 4 times.
You struggled.
I struggled at first, and then in that kind of 6th and 7th game of the first, it began to become cleaner, and that's where I could keep pushing. And that's what I didn't do that in the second set actually. I think I came forward once. Oh, once when he was at my feet.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Yeah, Mark said that you didn't bend your knees. I actually liked how you approached that. You just kind of lifted up.
Yeah, just at the pace of the work.
But it just was.
I know, I got robbed. The guards were on Drew's side today.
That was almost, that was almost like a little Sampras, just like, you know. But no, I mean, for me, the game is just so fast, it's like, it's just so hard to get there. And like, when I'm at the net, it just feels huge because I'm used to playing paddle where it's like a small court at the net, So like here, it's just tough. And I don't volley as well because I like absorb volleys there. And then if I come out here, I got to stick it like, so I avoid the net, and then my overhead is just trash. So.
Drew's a platform tennis player as well these days, so.
Yeah. It's not quite.
No, it's not a little different.
It's not quite padel.
More niche, More
table tennis,
badminton. Pushing.
But yeah,
no, it's
good.
It
was great.
What do you guys think?
Yeah. Absolutely entertaining. I personally, before the match started, I had Drew winning like 3-3 or 3-4.
Okay.
No offense.
No, me too. I was thinking that it's going to be a straight set.
But I'm glad that it went 3 and we had time to play out a full third like a real tennis match.
Yeah, because it felt like it. It was great.
You really dominated that tie break. I felt like you got
tired.
Tired. Well, I think
we were just on fire. I mean,
from up there,
I was very nervous.
No,
I
interesting.
Didn't feel,
yeah. Okay.
It's like, what do I do?
First couple of points, he got you shoved on your heels, and then you were still like finding balance. In the last 3 points, you went forehand error, forehand error, forehand error. One of them long, 2 into the net.
Yeah.
And I thought that just seemed really, really not like you to do. I thought that you were like in your own head at that point. So.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I mean, it's so easy. Like people think that like whether somebody above you on level like doesn't get nervous, that is so false. Like it doesn't matter where you're playing, what match it is. People feel nerves, and like I felt like he was bettering me. Like so it was like I was tight.
That's tennis. I mean, you're working with balls out of your reach. You got to run, go get them. It's not weightlifting or 100-meter.
run. I mean,
And first few games, I was so tight. I had 3 forehands in the net in the first game. As I got off raise, I was tight as a duck's ass.
Well,
I truly was.
You double faulted your first point, right?
In the breaker, I don't know.
I served second, so it was a returning game.
You double faulted.
No, I
thought there was an early double fault.
There was early ones in there, but I also a lot of forehands rolling bottom of the net. I just wasn't weight in it.
You weren't settled.
No,
I noticed that for the first 5 games, and then you settled in, and that's where I like noticed it. Like I noticed it. I was like, he's gonna start playing better. It's like he's gonna start playing better, and you did, and then then it's like can't win points the same way, so you get nervous, so.
Yeah, your level of play just went up like 2 levels. It seemed like that you were starting to hit the ball deeper and really get your weight coming forward rather than off your heels.
Getting more height on the ball, which really caused damage. And that second set, a few points. I had great points in I think 2 or 3 of the games.
No, those are killer.
Yeah, it's good though.
It's just that's the game though. 1 or 2 points can make a set's difference, right?
Yeah.
So true.
I was telling Mark that I really look forward to seeing somebody do a statistical analysis of the whole match, because I think that in terms of points won, I mean, you obviously turned a corner in the 3rd set, but it would still be like maybe 5-6 points difference.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
It wouldn't be much, and I think the UE errors on both sides, like I think the backhands were solid, but I think that you probably made more than you thought because you were being so offensive on them.
True.
There were some freaking amazing backhands. I mean, that one is just like, the ground's still warm.
Yeah.
It was smoking.
That was outrageous. Yeah. That was like Wii tennis fire,
Anything else you guys want to say before we head off?
No, just thanks guys again. Thanks for putting it on and doing all this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, this was awesome. So much fun. Great crew, So you guys do an excellent job, and I think it's so much fun. I'm glad you guys do it and have it.
So we got to figure out who to have you play next then,
I mean, I need a few months to regroup,
I still want to get you to play Gian.
Yeah, me too.
That's a match I would love to see.
I'll text him.
That'd be a grind.
Gian has told me he would play.
Okay.
I haven't lost a jam before, but it's a grind. It's always a grind. Yeah. It's never pleasant.
Well, and you know, he's a 4-5.
Yeah,
you know?
4-5.
All right, guys. If you haven't already, hit like and subscribe and that notification bell for more original tennis content. Thank you to Diadem and Go Sport. Without them, this would not be possible.
And to Will and Drew.
And Drew. So, as always, guys, happy hitting.
Guys.
Thank you.
Oh, my back's so stiff.
My quads are feeling it. All right, so can we have a confidentiality agreement that no scores get out until the...
Yeah, seriously. Is it really? Should we just end it after this? Just cancel real time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're done.
We're done. We've peaked.